up here. Let's see. There we go. In this part of my routine, I like to start off by just taking a little bit of time separating these skills and kind of looking at the back of the crowd and all the people with their arms crossed looking at me like they can do this. That's alright. Here's something a little more strength-oriented. I'd like to refer to this next skill. This thing, it hurts my arms a lot trick. It's like this. Yeah, that'll stretch you, people. How about a dedication specifically to the men in the crowd? There's one I don't enjoy, but for some reason you guys do. I call this next skill the reason I don't have kids. Example of my pain being your pleasure. Wasting no time to a skill appropriately named the I can't breathe, so if you're going to applaud, you better do it now. You bear with me for a second. I've got to rest. The more risky and the more daring of skills. I also replace light bulbs around the ship. Olympic gymnast, not Olympic comedian, alright guys? Bear with me for 1 second. I'll be down a little bit lower for the people in back, but it's a little more risky, so I have to make sure I wrap this up correctly. For the more risky and obviously named one leg. I'll give you some insight to the skill. You can see there's a tremendous amount of pressure on that one foot. My entire body weight is dangling from that foot. As long as I wrap that foot correctly, it doesn't hurt my foot. If I wrap it incorrectly, it really hurts my head. It's about 6 seconds behind. It's just time on my routine. I like just a little bit of private time. My itching the itches and making adjustments. Problem with tight-fitting clothing. Are you guys getting any of this? Alright. Trying to get out of this gracefully should hopefully look a little something like this. I'll give you a little more insight into what a normal day of training is like before the Olympics. Normally you go in the gym around 9 o'clock in the morning, and you start with a stretch program, then you do the first 3 events, which for the men is a 4-exercise palm, horse, and rings. Few routines over and over tens of times, then you end with a strength program. Take a break for lunch, come back in the afternoon for another 3-hour workout, about 6 hours of training every day. And again, you start with stretch, routines over and over in the last 3 events, which is the vault, parallel bars, and high bar. And then you end with strength again, all with one goal in mind. And that goal is to make the most difficult skills in the world look as easy as possible. When I got into entertainment, the goal became make the easiest skills look as difficult as possible. People, this is a gymnastics world. This stuff is very difficult, very dangerous. I'll give an example of just how dangerous this can be. When I was recently down in Mexico, performing this very same routine, I had a bunch of kids come up and start beating me with sticks. You guys are 2 seconds behind, but you're catching up. You see, I come from a mixed marriage. My mom is Catholic, and my dad's a bat. I know. 10 years old, that's how old I was when I started gymnastics. I was a very hyperactive kid, like a lot of kids you might know, or even have. Now, when I first started the sport of gymnastics, I wasn't used to being upside down so often. And I had a major problem with all the blood rushing to my head every time I went upside down. The problem got so bad I had to see a doctor about it. The doctor said he could help some of the blood from rushing to my head, so he prescribed Viagra. People, that's as risque as I get, alright? Now listen, I'm going to boast here a little bit. By now, you know I've been on 2 Olympic teams. 1988 was Seoul, Korea. 1992 was Barcelona, Spain. I've been fortunate enough to be on 3 world championship teams. Been at the White House 3 times, met a couple presidents. I'm a world champion on the high bar, a member of the Olympic Gymnastics Hall of Fame, and more recently started making my living wrapping myself in drapery. I also moonlight as a coat hanger. So I have a question for everyone. I know that on this cruise we have a lot of repeat cruisers. That's people that cruise so often, they know the ship's inside and out, they know all the ports, they really know how to live it up. But of course, many of you may be new to cruising, and this question is for everybody. And that question is, have you guys eaten well so far throughout your cruise? I mean, it's amazing. And not only is the food very, very good, but you can eat anytime you want to. Matter of fact, I had way too much before I came down here tonight. Have you ever seen a man throw down before? Hopefully not tonight. First flip I ever did, I was 8 years old. It was my first day of 3rd grade. I was on my bicycle, and I was actually hit by a car. You know, guys, I've joked around so much by now that no one believes me when I say that. It is a true story. This is how it went down. First day of 3rd grade, I'm riding my bicycle out in the street. A car comes out of the corner. I hit right in front of the tire of the car, fly off my bike, over the hood of the car, doing 1.5 flips, landing on my chin on the concrete. So I broke my chin and my jaw, got 32 stitches in my chin. True story, everybody, first flip. But my form got better over the years. All right, bear with me on this one. This is more technical, more challenging. I do have to wrap this one up much more carefully. So, where do you think this hurts, people? You'd be right. Call this a nutcracker, not so sweet. Hey, for you people with your cameras, you can put them away for this one, all right? On a serious note, in the world of gymnastics, if you're fortunate, you can make a pretty good living through endorsements and the like. And I'm very fortunate to be in the middle of negotiation with Johnson & Johnson. So listen to you, use your imagination, right? Mark got the new line of dental floss. Getting out of the skills to look a little something like this.
My old friend, I've come to talk with you again. Everybody was